Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town. We're about to show you once again why we're such a great town, because we have great people, great volunteers, great companies that operate in Woodbridge Township. In this case, we are here at Evergreen Center with people from the Home Depot in Colonia, and recognizing that Hurricane Ida has done a great deal of damage to residences throughout our township. They have donated hundreds of piles of cleaning supplies from their Home Depot, and we're going to make these available to the people from town who experienced those losses. So let me first thank Home Depot, and I guess, Chris, you're going to speak on behalf of the company?
Sure.
Chris is the manager up in Watchung. I guess the manager from Colonia couldn't be here. So tell me about your corporate donation policy and why you think this is important. Take it away.
So listen, on behalf of the Home Depot, we're very happy to support Colonia, Woodbridge, and the surrounding towns for all this impacted residents that were impacted by Tropical Storm Ida. As a company, we really want to give back to the local communities, and I just want to say thank you.
So what's in these buckets? What's going on here?
So we have the Homer bucket with some water, some mold control, sponges, some Clorox bleach, and some rubber gloves, disposable gloves.
Okay, how many of them you have total?
We have probably a couple hundred here.
A couple hundred, okay. And Barry, you want to say anything?
No, I'm good.
How about you? Is that Anthony?
Yeah, it's Anthony.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so much of the, probably the majority of the damage that we had is in the Colonia area, the 5th Ward. We had North Hill, McFarland, Brookside, Kenilworth. Those homes were damaged. A couple of buildings in Queens Gardens, all right outside your Home Depot. You're all in the same bowl.
Oh, yeah.
That everything just kind of, the water all just kind of, tell me, while we're on the topic, tell me what happened in your store. How many feet of water, how long? You had stuff floating across Route 35.
Yeah, so
Well, you might not know, or do you know?
the store took on about 3 feet of water inside the store. And
Now, how much things that you sell are motorized on those first 3 feet that were wrecked?
so everything
A
from
little
3
closer.
feet below was pretty much,
Everything?
total loss. Yep.
There's nothing that was under there that's salvageable?
No, everything was pretty much
And it was the whole store?
the whole store. Yep.
Millions. Yeah.
And all the stuff in the parking lot was floating across to Rahway?
Yeah, floating over to Kmart.
Because I tried to get down close to it, but I couldn't. And then the next 2 days I came, you were big close
Yeah,
signs,
we
so I
had-
couldn't get anywhere near it to
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, we had stuff floating over to Kmart and stuff, bunks of lumber and everything. Tools.
How does that
sorters.
stuff float? Was the water just so strong it took
Yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah. Taking cars and stuff in our parking lot. So.
Yeah, okay, all right. So anyway, the other sections of Colonia were, I guess, Beekman, Amherst, and Jordan. What else, Deb? I think that might be it. North Hill, yeah, McFarland got them. So anyway, Councilwoman Debbie Meehan jumped right into action. She organized a gift card drive so people could drop off cards to give to people who had, they might have lost their wallets, they might have lost any cash they had, who knows. So Debbie organized a gift card drive and gave away a couple $1,000s already, and then she was involved in this with Dan Harris and the Board of Ed to have Home Depot help the township. So Deb, you want to say a few words?
Sure. So just thank you to Home Depot. I know the storm it's been over a week, it's been a week now, but people are still cleaning out their houses. There's still so much for them to do, and these products are really going to help them. And more than even that, it's just the hug of the community from so many people that gave a gift card or called somebody. And our Public Works Department, George, and our administration and our mayor have been unbelievable. And even, the sanitation guys are out there and they're talking to these residents that are crying because they've lost so much. So this whole community has come together, and neighbors have helped neighbors, and everybody has just gone above the call. So because of people like you too. So we thank you so much and you were just showing me pictures how they flooded out and all their stuff floating. So even when you were hurting, you came out and you helped our community. So we thank you very much for that.
So do we know how people can, they're going to come here and pick up a bucket if they want it?
Yep, they can contact me. You can reach out to me at 732-382-0273. And if you just call me and you give me your address, or I can meet you up here, just let me know, and somehow we'll get you the buckets.
All right, we also have with us George Bruin. Debbie referred to it. I have to tell you, we were out for several days in a row checking damage and talking to people and helping them sign up with FEMA. and walking around with FEMA. For some reason, FEMA can't knock on somebody's door. I still don't know why. So they needed us to make the initial contact, and then they could take over. But anyway, every single person, and I mean every single person that I saw that came up to me or that I come up to them, thanked our sanitation department for the job they did. I went to work Thursday morning, and I said, okay, when I get in, I got to call George and make sure we get the trucks out. And on my way in, I checked for damage, and the trucks were already out. The trucks were out before I got up. So it shows you that they don't need me anymore. But it also shows you that this man here knows what he's doing in terms of having his public works department respond to an emergency so quickly. There were people bringing stuff out literally from the house first thing Thursday morning so they didn't get mold, and so they just got rid of them. And our trucks were out picking it up. And then, of course, the weekend it accumulated, and they were out first thing Tuesday morning, and everything was gone by Wednesday. So I just can't thank the Public Works Department enough, and the Sanitation Division in particular, and George Brew for his leadership, because like I said, he was on it before anybody on the mayor's office or the administration of the council was even awakened out of bed. So George, you want to say a few words about your team?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So, you know, all our crews pretty much worked through the night, Wednesday night during a storm. Roads, parks, wastewater, you know, obviously wastewater, making sure our pump stations are running. Sanitation came in at 5 in the morning. They were right on the street, already taking garbage, as the mayor said, bulk, and also doing their recycling pickup. So, you know, it was multitasking. We've picked up approximately 350 tons of bulk waste in the last week.
How do you relate that to a typical year? Like when we do special pickups, how many tons do we do in a year?
So you really put me on the spot there, Mayor. Thank you.
No, I'm thinking,
so
the landfills are 40,000 tons of...
Yeah, so we've done pretty much what we would, as far as bulk, in a week, what we would do in a year.
That's what I'm driving at. That's what I wanted to know.
So we really, they haven't stopped. So, you know, Saturday, we're going to continue this week, right up until Saturday. We seem to be pretty cleaned up throughout the town. And then obviously residents are calling in, so we're coming to their houses as they need us after that. But I think by Saturday, we're going to have a pretty good handle on most of the bulk waste throughout the town.
So if anybody's watching this, and today's Thursday the 9th, so by Saturday the 11th, George's crews will be done touring the town looking for the garbage, and from then on you have to call 738-1311.
Extension 3600.
3600, okay. And that's how you can get a special pickup after Saturday. So if you're a flood victim that didn't clean anything out, last night was kind of much ado about nothing, right?
Yeah, last night's storm was insignificant for us. You know, we did have, you know, and again, road department, our engineering department, you know, the amount of work that goes in pre-storm. You know, we call B's and C's. We clean all our brooks and culverts, checked our inlets or our outfalls. That's before any major storm comes. And then obviously the post cleanup of going into the creeks and pulling any debris out, logs and whatever accumulates, you know, for the next storm. So we've already done that prior to the storm event we were planning for yesterday.
So I think what happened, and it's just my opinion, I think they were so wrong and they missed everything the first time, because no one told us it was going to be 10 inches of rain and 8 inches of rain in a couple hours, and it was going to be such a driving hard rain and wind and you name it. They missed that. I mean, exactly. No one knew about it until you got a buzz on your phone at 6 o'clock at night. No one even knew that was coming in that severity. So I think they overdid Wednesday, and they over-warned everybody, and it was much ado about nothing. So that's just what I think. I'm not a weatherman, and I have respect for weathermen, but they blew the first one and they overdid the second one.
But, you know, again, Thursday morning, our crews that were done with the Assistant Emergency Services, rescuing people, we're back in the streams, in the creeks, you know, de-snagging, trying to get any debris out we can that would impede water, you know, for the next storm.
Now, put your fire hat on for a minute, because George is also a volunteer fireman. An awful lot of fire guys were out. They were out with boats, taking people out of the trailer home with boats. They were out with their trucks. They were out with bucket trucks, having people reach out and jump into a bucket truck and rescue them. I mean, the fire departments, the first aid squads, the police department, this community emergency response CERT team, they were just amazing. And that CERT team manned the community center. We had 60 beds taken in the community center from people who had to evacuate their residences. So tell me, being involved in emergency services, that was an amazing job by those men and women too.
So, exactly, and it was an all-hands-on-deck effort. I mean, between the fire, the police department, the first aid, CERTs, our Board of Education allowed us to use their buses. We used their school buses to rescue people. I put public works guys driving school buses to move people from the flooded areas to the community center. So all entities throughout the township, I think, were involved and on deck working together.
Well, your crews have our appreciation, and tell them I can see a nice big pizza beer day in their future.
Thank you.
Anything else from Home Depot?
No, thank you very
Once
much.
again, thank you very much. You have two locations in Woodbridge, and we appreciate everything you do. You don't just do emergency things. You help us with tooling around the town. You bring supplies. You bring crews. You help us with a whole lot of things, and we really appreciate it. And once again, thank you to our Department of Public Works. Everybody in Woodbridge chips in and helps people when they're down, and that's why this is such a great town. Thank you for watching.